Welcome, folks. This is Release the Adventure, a podcast about getting outside and having fun. And I'm Brad.
And I'm Sean.
And today is a different kind of episode. So most of the time, we're either talking about something, about how to get into something, or different components and different aspects that come with a certain sport, or we're talking about individuals who are doing amazing things or having interviews with amazing people. Today, we were trying to think of topics.
We're doing none of that.
We have autos, but we're doing none of that. None of it. It's Beer Drinking Thursday, folks. So we're going to hang out. Our partners are actually buying their first bikes in the next 2 weeks. So it's kind of a weird feeling for both of us because we've hooked them. We got them in. So we know they're not leaving now because we got them into mountain biking.
Right. We've sunk our vampiric teeth into them.
Exactly. So now we've been trying to decide what kind of bikes they want. And they've been trying to do research and kind of figure things out. And then we got the new bike bug. And now we're looking at all kinds of bikes. And we're just trying to figure things out. And it's been a long week for both of us. And happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday.
Whether you listen to this on a Friday, not a Friday, happy Friday. Because it's Friday sometimes.
Yeah.
But always be happy that those weekends come. Whether your Friday is a Monday or a Friday. Just get hyped. So we've decided that we're drinking today. So we're going to just talk about bikes while we sip on some beer.
Yeah.
And try to give you guys a little bit of perspective on what's a go-to bike. Or what is when you're looking at bikes and you're like, okay, I don't think I want to start at $1,000. I think I have a little bit more money than that because I don't want to start on a hardtail. I want to go to a full suspension. I want to really enjoy mountain biking. And that's what we want to look into because both our partners are looking at that range where it's either going to be a hardtail with 27.5 plus tires, so a little bit more squishy, a little bit more grip, or going into those entry-level full suspension bikes.
Yeah, exactly. It's either top of the line hardtails or it's going to be kind of the more pseudo quote unquote entry level full suspension bikes.
Ooh, what a day.
Very
Game
exciting.
changer.
Yeah.
So, I guess, Sean, let's talk about the three big boys.
Three big boys. I like it.
Because those are what people think of when they go and they immediately go to a shop. Most shops have one of these three brands.
Yep.
Trek, Specialized, or Giant.
Yep. And then in fourth place, probably Scott.
Yes. And then if you're going into higher end, you're looking at Yetis.
Oh, that's tip of the top, baby.
And we'll go there today. We'll talk about it. But there ain't much that we can touch in that realm for the price point we're looking for. But I guess let's start with Trek. Which I'm going to say, I'm going to be fully honest, I'm biased. I have a Fuel X8. I'm a Trek junkie. I love them. They're my people. I have had zero issues with my bike. All the equipment I've bought from them have just been fantastic. So the first bike we're going to talk about is a Fuel X5 for $2,099.
Very nice bike. So right off the top, just starting at the very simplest thing you could possibly think of with this bike. It's got a couple of nice colorways. Got a beautiful purple and just kind of a nice muted gray. Kind of silvery.
I will say that I do like the purple.
Yeah, the purple is nice.
A little bit of ombre in the center going from that purple to black. I do like that.
Yeah, it's got that nice gradient.
Which I think a lot of bike builders nowadays are seeing that people like that ombre, that gradient, and they're not wrong. They're definitely not wrong because I'm feeling it.
Yeah. So right off the top, this has a really nice. I mean, so it's got a really nice travel on the front fork, but not necessarily a prestigious name. It's got the RockShox Recon 140 millimeter travel, so that's a decent chunk of travel. That's pretty much everything you need on most trails.
Yep. Yeah. Which, by the way, let's get a quick caveat. We're not talking about downhill bikes. We're just talking about enduro cross-country style bikes.
Yeah, just trail bikes.
That are more for doing single track, where you have to get yourself to the top, but you get to have a good time on the way down.
Heck yeah. So.
And one thing that I do like about this Fuel X5 is for you shorter people, the extra small and small riders, they have a rolled top tube to make it a little bit easier to get on and off the bike. So you still get that same geometry on the front, but your center geometry is a little bit easier to get on and off the bike, and it's not so clunky.
Very nice. Also, the rear shock is looking like a RockShox Deluxe Select Plus. That's a nice one. It looks like
nice. Yeah.
Looks like Trek spent a little bit more money in designing around the rear shock than the front shock, which usually that's more cost effective. But ultimately, in my opinion, you're gonna want to have a better front shock. But if they're gonna spend a little bit extra money on the RockShox Deluxe, they ain't gonna complain about it.
Yeah, exactly. It's all worth getting either way.
For sure. And the RockShox Recon is definitely no slouch. I think the Judy is probably slightly better. I mean, it's hard to say because, man, I don't know, the Judy, just where my mind goes, it's just a legendary name in the RockShox brand. You know, that's kind of one of the do it all type of shocks. You know, whether you're going out on the trail or you're going to the downhill park, it can do the whole shebang. So,
for sure. And that makes it hard because you're trying to make that decision, trying to understand what you're looking at, what you're wanting to look at, that type of thing, which is hard.
Yeah.
And I went ahead and jumped on SRAM, which they have a really nice kind of layout of not really who's better, but kind of how RockShox kind of lays out their suspensions. And it looks like the Recon's about 2 steps below the Judy, the Juddy. But also, you do got to remember, folks, that they like to put weird names with weird things.
Yep.
Because there's a Juddy Silver, Juddy Gold. There's also a Silver, a 30 Silver, a 30 Gold, a 35 Gold. So, and those last 3 that I said are the top 3 that are on almost every downhill bike.
Like, for the numbers wise of those particular suspensions, like the 30, 34, that's the circumference of the stanchions of the front shock suspension, if you were to measure the circumference around it, which means it has more volume of air that it can take in, and thus helping you relieve the different bumps and bashes and all that stuff.
Exactly. Cool. Well, let's move on to Specialized.
Yeah, I am there. I am looking at the Stumpy ST Alloy, baby.
Stumpy, baby. And I will say, if it wasn't for Trek squeezing me in with, I got lucky when I bought my bike. If they wouldn't have snagged me, I'd be on a Stumpy.
Oh, yeah. It is a beautiful bike. So the Specialized Stumpjumper ST Alloy 27.5 is racking in at $2,010. So right in that same price range, only slightly less, about $80 less than the Fuel EX8.
Exactly. So let's look at, and folks, just if you haven't noticed yet with the first bike, we're really going to focus on the shocks, and also, Sean, we might have to jump back and talk about the drivetrain that's on the Fuel X5, because we did skip over that one. Because those are the 3 big. Those are the 3 big things that you should look at, and everything else kind of puts a little bit of extra on there and kind of gives it a little panache.
For sure.
Okay, so rear suspension on this Stumpy is an X Fusion. A lot of bikes have this. It's not highest end, but it's still up there with all the RockShox.
Yeah, it's okay. I think X Fusion is actually a proprietary design from Scott.
Oh.
If I'm not mistaken, because I think I read that during our research earlier that was a proprietary design. So
I did
that's
not know that.
kind of interesting that they're licensing it out. So maybe I'm mistaken on that, but I don't see why they wouldn't license it out if it's a comparable to RockShox, but at a potentially cheaper price.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. And the front fork, while Brad is looking up X Fusion, the front fork is also a Recon, so same exact front fork as the Fuel EX8. Or, excuse me, not EX8, EX5, the last bike we're comparing. However, one thing that's always sticking out to me is the brakes on the Specialized Stump Jumper. It's using Tektro, which is a lesser brand, unfortunately. However, it does have really big rotors on it, with it being 200 millimeters on the front brake and 180 millimeters on the rear brake. And you want the bigger rotor on the front brake. And once you reach like 200 millimeters, that's when you're starting to reach like downhill levels of like braking. They're up to like 200 to 260. So very powerful brakes there for like the rotor wise. It's just more so that with the Tektro, you might experience some mechanical issues and might have to get it serviced, or it might just not have a long enough lifespan, that kind of stuff.
Okay, so Sean, you were wrong.
Dang it.
So X Fusion has been around since 1999.
Ooh.
They market across the entire market.
Wow.
Trek, Cannondale, Specialized, Ibis, James, GT, Narco, Scott, Ghost, Cannon. We'll go back to those. You'll hear a couple of those again.
Yeah, for sure.
But so they're actually, this is, I didn't realize
how big of a brand they are.
They're big. They got a lot.
Ooh.
And they got some really aggressive coil forks too, or coil suspension. And they got H3C. Oh man, I'm gonna go on a tangent real quick. I'll go look at it real quick. What do we got? 180. What? So 60 millimeters in the back. And if you guys don't know, you basically, for lack of better terms, you multiply by 3, and that's what it kind of is in the front. So that's like having 180 millimeters in the front. That's some crazy stuff right there.
It's a lot of rear travel.
That's awesome. Okay, going back.
So I'm going back and forth right now, right, between Specialized and Fuel EX8. One thing I noticed was I keep saying Fuel EX8. I'm stuck on the Fuel EX8, man. Apparently I really like that bike. Fuel EX5. So on the cassette though, they skimped out on a little bit of money. They went with a Suntour brand with the Sun Race for the cassette. Yeah.
For who, Trek or
for Trek?
What?
Yeah, they went with the Sun Race 11x42 10 speed.
That's a little frustrating.
Yeah, I would hope for more like 1x11 there.
So I'm I've officially transferred over to the 1x system as of today.
Welcome to the Master Race.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm excited. It's weird having just one hand shifting. I tried to shift with my left hand because my road bike has 3 in the front, 10 in the back.
Yeah.
So I was like, what is going on with my hands? Yeah. I don't know what to do with my hands.
And you used to have a 2x system that was stock on your bike.
Exactly. And that was before the 1x's were real. That was when everybody was experimenting with it. And it wasn't like everybody needs a 1x.
Right.
Like, we'll leave it to certain people.
Right.
But, yeah. 1x's are almost necessary now for, well, I wouldn't say everybody has their own taste. Some people love the 2x10s, 2x9s.
Yeah.
I will say I'm loving it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan of having a nice drivetrain just because I really like buttery smooth shifting, and I like having a wide range. So man, I love the 1x system, and I only have a 1x10, but I have a cross country bike, so my pedaling efficiency is a lot higher than a full squish, right?
Man,
so I can kind of make it work. But yeah, with that 1x12, oh baby, I'd be climbing up all the mountains.
Oh, the mountain.
Taking the Mountain Go life to the next level.
Exactly. So, I'm going to move on to Giant.
Fair enough.
The Trance 29.
Yeah.
3. Be specific with 3 at the end, because the 2 is 2900, the 3 is 2100. So, definitely puts a difference.
Yep.
The fork is a Marsati Z2.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait. I'm looking at the Trance 3 2020, and I'm seeing RockShox 35 gold.
Trans 29 3?
Are you looking at the rear?
No, I'm looking at fork.
We're looking at different things.
I think we're looking at 2 different, and this is what happens when you're looking at websites, folks, is you just get lost in the sauce.
That's what I'm looking at, Brad.
Okay, now I'll send you a link about what I'm looking at. Okay, so look at the one you're looking at compared to the one I'm looking at.
You're looking at 29er. That's
Yes.
the difference. Okay, so you're looking at the 29er version. I'm looking at the 27 version. Okay, well, this is interesting then. This is completely different. Wow.
This is bonkers,
this
folks.
Is weird. This is weird. Why would they do this? Just slap on 29-inch tires and keep the rest of it the same. Why would you just completely change like one of the most important parts?
I'm pretty mad right now. Giant, you're saucing me up.
I'm pretty peeved though.
Because that's not how this should go.
No. What happened, Giant? What?
I don't get it.
Okay, well, so the Trance 3 27.5-inch tires has a RockShox 35 gold with a rebound and lockout control, 150 millimeters of travel, really good, very nice, with a rear shock of the RockShox Deluxe Select. Very nice rear shock, very, very nice.
That's fantastic, folks. I'm telling you that is like the creme de la creme when it comes to beginner bikes. Mm-hmm. Beginner full suspension.
Yeah, quote-unquote entry level, even though you're paying $2,000.
Yay, going mountain biking, it'll be fun, they said. You won't spend that much money, they said.
Your wallet's going to be just fine, they said.
Oh, man, it hurts. It hurts. So, what? Okay, so now I'm going to go over and look at the 29er version of this. And it has a Marzucci, which I've heard of before, and I know they're up there, and people use them for more downhill stuff. But that's only 130 millimeters, usually 20 millimeters. And then for the rear shock, you got a Fox Float DPS. It's almost the same thing as the Deluxe.
Yeah,
for RockShox.
The Deluxe and the Float are pretty much on par with each other.
Yeah, so they're just you got one's RockShox, one's Fox. You're matched out there. That's interesting. It's crazy that they basically took the same bike, and then instead of keeping the high end stuff, but then
it's the same exact price too.
Yeah,
it's $2,100 for each.
But that's where they made the money back, was taking that front fork down 2 steps.
Pretty much. I mean, like you said, Maserati is a decent brand. It's a lot better than Suntour. It's a enthusiast, up to professional grade brand. But the shock that they put on this Z2 is
not there.
No, it's not. What happened, Giant?
No. And then you ready for where this is crazy? The 29er has SX Eagle, and the 27.5 has SX.
What?
So,
oh my God. What happened with this bike?
This is a hodgepodge, folks. I don't know what they were doing, what they were thinking, who. Oh man, somebody call the designer because they messed up.
Oh man, and the crankset on the 27.5 version is an Eagle, but everything else about the drivetrain is just regular. It's regular SX. What the? What
Okay,
happened?
I'm done with Giant. Sorry, folks. I'm
We're
done with
moving on.
it. I'm not a Giant person. We're switching.
Let's go to Scott next.
Let's go to Scott.
Okay.
Sounds good. Are we looking at the Contessa?
We can look at the Contessa, but there's the Spark RC is the male equivalent to the Contessa for those of you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me find it. But you send it, Sean.
Sure. So the Contessa is the women's version of the Spark. So we're specifically looking at the Contessa Spark 930, and so got a really nice fork up front. It's got a Juddy 120. So, like we said, the Juddy, even though this one has small travel at 120 millimeters, it's still technically like a step up or two from the RockShox Skull 35. Mm-hmm. As weird as that seems, despite having less travel, it's just the Juddy's just that good.
Yes.
I wish I could go into more technical specs. I wish I knew more how to explain it better. I just don't. But it's just slightly better, which is really crazy.
So it really comes with, and this is just my small research. I know there's someone out there that knows way more than I do. When you're looking at suspensions, you're looking at length, and you're looking at how much travel you have, but you're also looking at how long it's going to last you.
Mm-hmm.
And the Juddy, it's been proven, and RockShox has done very well. Same with the Fox 34. Have done an amazing job at making a front suspension that can take a lot of beating, and after 1 or 2 seasons get completely rebuilt and feel like a brand new suspension.
Yep. This is something that can last you many, many seasons. If not, if you treat it right and you get it serviced often, potentially a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. So, anyways, on the Contessa, the rear shock, it's using the X Fusion brand, and it's using the Nude. Trunion Scott Custom with travel geo adjustment, and this has 120 through 85 lockout adjustment, so about 120 millimeters of travel, which is really good for a trail bike. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with 120 millimeters of travel.
Yeah, you can romp over whatever you want with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you might feel some extra bruising if you're doing some slopestyle stuff, but that's all right.
Yeah.
It never stopped anybody. Also, it's running SS Eagle. None of that funny baloney that Giant's got going on where it's just running the SX, but not the SX Eagle. It's straight up Eagle, so you got that crisp 1x12 platform.
Yeah. That's what I was about to ask you, too. Was I was like, I don't see it. I don't. Yep. Oh, there it is. So, and people, just so that if you don't know, the Eagle adds that 12th chain ring on your back that puts you up into, and don't quote me, into the high 50s, 60 tooth when it comes to let me see. Your chain ring, which actually, it sounds counterintuitive, but a bigger chain ring gives you a lower gear, so it's easier to climb up hills.
Yep. So the cassette is a 11 by 50 tooth cassette, so
okay, so 50 is the highest.
Just comparable from a couple years when I was looking at bikes for myself, that's approximately like a 400 to 80% like gear ratio range. So,
which will basically get you anywhere.
Yeah, for sure. If you want to go fast, you got that level. If you want to climb up if you want to climb up a 65-degree hill, you put that up in the 12th gear, baby, and you're rocking and rolling.
You lean your chest into it, and you'll have some fun.
Pedal real hard, though.
Pedal real hard.
Yeah.
I guess Canyon? You feeling Canyon?
Hold on, I want to stop you right here, though. So based off of these 4 that are probably some of the biggest brands, where are you feeling? If people want like a brand name that they can trust, where are you feeling on these big 4?
So I'm gonna start from the bottom.
Okay.
Throw Giant out. I'm sorry. That pissed me off.
I'm so mad at Giant. What happened?
Sorry, folks, but I don't understand how you can have the same bike.
I know.
That's not the same bike. And maybe they have a reason. Maybe they do. But it doesn't feel like that to the consumer, because then it feels like you're torn between a 27.5 and a 29 because of components
Yeah.
and not because of the size of the bike.
Yep.
When you should be looking at a 29 because you want to roll over things more,
Yep.
or 27.5 because you want to be more nimble. It should not have to be because of components. So goodbye, Giant. I close the tab, everybody. So
I would agree. I'm gonna close the tab too. Sorry, Giant. You're in fourth place out of the big four.
So, and then we start looking, and this is where it gets kind of pushed together, where it's a little bit harder.
Yeah, this is
and I know I'm biased with the Trek, but I was disappointed with the cassette.
Yeah,
It didn't have. It's a 10-speed.
Yeah, it's a 10-speed.
That's not enough if you want to go out and start doing Moab and doing some of the stuff in Wyoming that has these climbs, or log road, loggers road in Horsetooth and Fort Collins.
I definitely get
that is one of the hardest climbs I've ever done, and it's a fire road. And
that fire road was no joke, man. It was just like, oh my god, this thing never ends, and it's like freaking 50-degree angle. What the hell is this?
And if I had a bigger cassette like I do now, maybe the next time we go it'll be easier.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll be in a little bit better shape. But I had a 10-speed before. We're not doing that again.
You know what?
I'm going to put Trek in third, which hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts my heart.
And also with the Trek, it's only a 34 tooth chain ring. I mean, that comes naturally with it being only a 10-speed, but man, it's just the drivetrain is seriously disappointing.
Yeah. It was not
Okay.
Not my favorite.
All right. So the final two. All right.
So, okay. I will say that my pick out of these two is going to be the Scott. And I'll say, and this is me being nitpicky, like nitpicking.
Yeah.
Is going to be because of the brakes.
Yep.
And those aren't the things that you should always focus on. But once you've walked through everything, and they're basically the same.
Yep. This bike is nearly exactly the same bike.
They have they both have Eagle 12s. All of it.
Yep. They both have. The Scott also has a Juddy, and the Specialized Stumpy has that
Recon.
Has the Recon RL, and not even an RL Gold. So that's big. That's big right there on its own.
Bumped it up quite a bit.
So you get a better front shock, which is one of your most expensive parts, and you get better brakes on top of that.
You get the Shimano brakes, so I think if you're looking out of the top four and you're not wanting to go to these smaller brands,
the boutique brands,
yes, but boutique is kind of a miss thing because you can also get some really good bikes out of these for cheap.
Yep,
but we'll get there.
Boutique is kind of a bad word for it, but it's just the name for it. It's just the non-hyper commercialized, ultra capitalism bikes. You know, the more independent companies, the ones that aren't bogged down by super bureaucracy and that kind of stuff, where they have a little bit more leeway.
So Scott Spark 960. That's our pick for the top four.
Congratulations, Scott Spark.
$99.
You're the Release the Adventure Big Four, quote unquote,
so much.
Entry level winner. I'm sure
so much.
I'm sure you were really looking for this endorsement, Scott. I'm sure you needed our help, but boy, did you deserve it.
And if you guys want us to ride for you, I'll ride for you.
Yep. Hey, Giant, by the way, I wouldn't be mad if we rode for you too, though.
I'm not. Sean, that made me so mad. I'm still a little soused.
Okay, well, you can ride for Scott, and if Giant just wants to throw me a bike my way, you know what, Giant? I'm all for it.
Trek, I still love you. Trek, call me up, please. I don't want to leave the Fuel X game. That new Fuel X8 2020, check it out. Very expensive bike, but a beautiful bike. Mm-hmm. Not what we're talking about today. So, I want to go to Canyon.
I love Canyon.
Our boy, the single track sampler. Alex, great guy. Check him out on YouTube. He rides for Canyon.
God, it's such a good brand.
I know, he got lucky. He got so lucky. So, and I don't even know what bike he's riding right now. I know that
he has two.
He has the full suspension. I don't even remember the name of the full suspension, or his downhill bike.
Two. Yeah, he has two. He has the Spectral and the Torque.
Oh, okay.
Which Spectral is more trail and Torque is more enduro. So slightly bigger suspensions on the Torque.
Yeah.
However, I don't know if maybe he got a downhill bike from.
He did. I just saw that. I'll go look for it. When I see it, I'll be able to tell you what it is. Because he went and spent 3 weeks at Whistler. The dream.
Wow. The dream, for sure. What a
Live
man.
in the van in the parking lot at Whistler.
Oh, man. That is the Sender. Oh, that's
Sender.
That's sick.
That's what it is. That's what he has.
Absolutely sick. Wow.
Wonderful bike.
What a guy. Alex. Yeah. Wow. Single track sampler. Hats off to you.
Yeah. So I guess let's look at bikes now. What do they got for...
Again, we're going to try to look around the $2,000 range to compare to our big four, right?
So I guess we're going to have to move up in price to about $2,500, $2,600 with the Neuron and the Torque and the Spectral. The Spectral is about $2,700.
For me, so there's the Spectral. So if you fellas out there don't care, you can get a deal on the Spectral if you don't care that there's a slight bump in the top tube, because the Spectral Women 6.0 is slightly cheaper at $2,500. So you can get a few $100s off just by having a quote-unquote women's bike. And you can always change the saddle later on. And if I'm being honest with you, I think women's saddles are more cushier.
I agree. A little bit wider, a little more comfortable.
Yeah. So,
and if you're a shorter individual, under 5'6", I think about getting a woman's bike just cause.
Yeah.
Easier to get on, it's a lot more comfortable. They're just easier for shorter people.
Yep.
So, even if you do get a small or a extra small.
I agree. Especially when you're getting a discount just for quote unquote getting a women's bike. That's awesome.
I'll take the female tax. It's finally going in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
I like it.
With the Torque, I think we're gonna have to disqualify the Torque because that's $3,000. I think that's too far out of the range of what we've been.
I got a Torque CF 7.0 for $76.
Okay, you're gonna have to send me that.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
Carbon fiber at $2,600. What?
Yes.
Holy.
It's a game changer. It's
oh man.
You look at it and you're like, you're lying to me right now.
Let me introduce you guys to your new addiction, and that's carbon fiber.
And folks, you can just listen to us. Hopefully you can hear that we get hyped on new bikes.
Oh,
we ain't buying new bikes. Our partners are, which is amazing, and I like it. But
this is nice. This is like the upper echelon threshold of this price range that we're talking about. I mean, absolutely, like even like borderline over. But man, carbon fiber, great colorway, just oh man, awesome.
At
just
2,600.
Oh my god, the whole bike only weighs 14.9 kg, baby.
I know.
Oh my god,
game changer.
Oh my, this is beautiful bike. Canyon doing it real once again. All right,
Canyon's more of a higher end with that they have some budget bikes, but the budget bikes aren't budget bikes.
Yeah, so
you're gonna ride Canyon. You're serious about mountain biking.
Oh yeah,
and you know that you're getting quality equipment.
Yep. So Canyon is one of the direct-to-consumer brands. So unlike the big four that we talked about, Trek, Specialized, Giant, and Scott, these guys only ship direct-to-consumer. They don't have physical stores. So the idea is that because they don't have a middleman to give off bikes to with stores or have their own stores to run, they can pass off that savings to you. And for this particular bike, that's showing. That's showing.
So let me list off some components real quick. RockShox Deluxe and a RockShox Lyric, which is just a little, like a quarter step, half step under the Judy.
I would say it's above though.
Well, in the range, yes and no. The Judy does have 180 millimeter travel as well, but the
Depends
Lyric's
on
one
which
of
model of the Judy that you're getting, because as we
yeah,
saw, there's multiple with 120 millimeters. So are you getting
yeah.
the
So that's why
Judy
I
with
say
the
a
trail
quarter step.
version? Right.
So
Are
I
you?
said quarter step because it's almost the same thing, but it has a little bit of a difference that kind of puts it a little bit below. But it's way more of a. It's on a carbon bike. You can't.
You can't go wrong with that, baby.
I'm
Oof.
losing it.
But
Drivetrain, SRAM GX.
that is a definitive step up. So the other bikes we were talking about, it was the NX. The GX is the direct step up from the NX, and two
NX and
steps up from the
XX.
the GX is 2 steps out from the SX.
So game changer there.
Yeah.
SRAM code for brakes. That's crazy.
That's nice.
That's you're going up. This bike's a steal.
Ooh, and DT Swiss for your hubs though. Oh
yeah.
man. Oh man, those are nice. Ooh.
Oh,
Dang.
we're fanboying. It's a fanboy day. We
Ooh.
losing it.
I don't know. Boutique bikes, watch out, because there's a sweet deal on this Torx Carbon Fiber 7. Oh man, this is kind of crazy town. This is like if I just wanted to go nuts and just say, you know what? I just paid off all of my credit card. I can afford $2,000 something. Bam! Buy this bike.
Oh, that's an awesome bike. That's incredible.
Ooh, wow.
Okay.
I'm all worked up, man. I don't know.
I too. So if you're looking to spend $700, $800 more, you need to be looking at Canyon.
Yeah.
And I know you're moving into the more $3,000 at the end of the day with kit and everything like that, but man.
Yeah. But if you want to be at that Canyon life and if you're stoked like us on it, and you want to drop down to that $2,000 level, let me introduce you to the Neuron Aluminum 7.0. So not carbon fiber, but it's okay. That's not the end of the world. But what you do get is also just, again, really great components. And so that includes the Fox 34 Rhythm. Really great. That's the Juddy level for Fox, I would say.
Yep.
Slightly more travel.
I'd agree.
On 130 millimeters. And then a Flux Float DPS, which is the Fox equivalent to a RockShox Deluxe Select Plus or whatever it is. And then you get kind of a mix between GX and NX. You get a GX Eagle derailleur, which is the more important part. You get slightly better shifting butteriness, but on the lever you get the NX, but the lever is not really a big deal. That's just the physical button that you press to switch. So that's not as big of a deal. But yeah, the NX somewhere between the NX and GX Eagle because they kind of have it kind of down the middle. So yeah, really nice at $2,000, especially for the shocks that you get. That's really nice.
For sure. That's an awesome bike. Man, Canyon, you stepping up.
Canyon, so good, man. I've been telling you, I've been preaching the Canyon life. I wish I had their bike. Like, you have that sweet spot for Specialized, the Stumpy, the higher end Stumpy, but man, I love Canyon.
It's gone now.
Yeah.
It left the building because Canyon walked in and said, hey boy, how you doing? And I was like, oh man.
So good.
You're not real. I'm dreaming. Somebody pinch me.
Somebody pinch me because this is nuts. This is crazy town.
And it comes with Maxxis tires.
I know.
We
didn't touch on that with the last one, but it came with, for our last bike that we talked about, the Torx, the carbon fiber bike.
Yeah.
It came with the tire, the Minion DHR. Ooh.
Oh my god.
2.4 inch. Ooh. Minion DHRs. Those are really nice. Those are really great for the downhill though. So the DHR standpoint just stands for downhill rear, and there's a downhill F, and that's what Brad has. Yep. He has a DHF and a DH rear, and it has slightly different patterns on the tire depending on how you want to grip it. But man, the DHR, those are stellar tires, 2.4 inch, just that nice buttery sweet zone before you get up into plus size tires. Oh man, so good.
It's a game changer. Those are amazing. It changed my ride when I started.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then on the Neuron, you're getting the Maxxis Forecaster. And I haven't rode that. but it's 2.35 inch, so just barely slightly in width under the DHR, the Minion DHR.
They're still Maxxis.
They're still Maxxis, and Maxxis is legendary in the tire
You're looking at
community.
these thick, knobby, grab everything you ride over tires.
Yep. Maxxis is, I don't know. I would say maybe this is a bit of an overstatement, but I would say Maxxis is unequivocally the best mountain biking tire brand.
In our opinion, there always is going to be different people
Yep.
saying that everybody likes what they like, but I love, and Sean loves, those super knobby, grabby tires.
Yep.
That when you want to get into a corner, you're not scared to try to lay the bike a little bit farther over, because you know if you have the speed, you're not going to fall.
Yep. For sure.
So, Sean, I want to move on to a company I just heard of from you.
Yeah.
Cube.
They're a British brand. A little bit of British life. Yeah, Cube is one of those very small brands that almost no one has heard about. But when you go on like the hardcore enthusiast page, they're like, so you're looking for a budget bike with good componentry? Have you heard about Cube though?
Have you heard about Cube though?
So that's how their reputation was a few years ago when I was looking into them. So we'll see how they compare now.
So what bike are we looking at, Sean?
Just looking at the AMS 100, you can tell. To me, this screams like British bike. This thing is cheeky. It's just
send me a link. I gotta see what you're seeing. Gotta see it.
Just not with like the component. We're not even caring about the componentry and all that. Just like the aesthetic look of this bike. This is very cheeky, very British looking, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, let's look at. Oh, that is British. It's all British,
isn't it? It's so cheeky. So
I'm gonna give you a layout real quick because this is just making. I thought Tom was BSing us for a second.
No, it's so
but
cheeky.
Nah, he's not kidding. So it's got like, is that green wall tires?
No, so those are the old school like retro where it's kind of that tannish, whitish inside rim is coming back, and that's what that is.
So and that's because that's not the rim, that's the tire, Sean.
That's the tire, yeah.
That's a tan walled tire.
Yeah, that's a tan
walled tire. So if you're trying to bring what you do on the streets with your car onto your bike, it's here. And Cube has it.
Super.
And then
retro.
they have this like, and I'm colorblind, folks, so I'm gonna start spouting colors, and Sean's gonna tell me I'm wrong. But it's got a red strip coming off the back fork.
Yep, on the lower triangle.
And then a blue strip on the front with dual colors.
On the down tube, yep.
And then the top cube is like a teal?
The main L, the top tube, and the shaft, whatever, is this off-white color. It's slightly gray, but it's like an off-white. So it's got this nice red, white, and blue. Representing the good old Union Jack. Very cheeky. I love it.
The queen has to be happy about this bike. She's got to be.
Yeah.
I want to talk about components.
Yeah, so I think this is right at our range. So on their website, it's not talking. For whatever reason, it doesn't have a price listed. But just based off of the componentry, we're looking at Fox 32 float, Shimano XT, which is a 1x11, and then the rear shock is a Fox float. So this is a $2,000 bike.
Yeah. Sean, you missed it. It's a 1x12.
Oh, is it? Oh,
1x12.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Oh, they've upgraded the XT. So I have an XT, but from like 2018 or whenever it was, 2017, 2018, and then the XT was a 1x10. So that's cool.
Yep. Yeah, that's amazing. Awesome. Well,
so that's fun. If
you're looking for a fun bike, go look at Cube.
Yeah, cheeky, very cheeky.
So, Sean, what is next?
Do you want to go into other smaller brands?
Vitus.
I've
never heard of them before either, folks. Because Sean just started at the beginning of this video. I just want to give you a little bit of a layout. He just starts going Vitus, like GT, which I've heard of GT before, but I hadn't heard him in a long time. Intense, Salsa,
Alchemy.
Alchemy. Who's heard of Alchemy?
Not many people have heard of Alchemy before.
So I guess let's go Vitus and then let's go Alchemy. Oh,
I'm happy to
okay.
see right off the bat that they have prices on their website. That's a
Yeah.
good.
So the
So
Vitus Summit 27 VR is just at 2,100 pounds.
yeah, the Escape. Where was it? Escape 29 VR. That's at 29 2000 2000
22.99.
euro. It's at 2000. That's the euro sign, right? I don't know.
Yes. Oh, it is euros.
These
I
are
said pounds, didn't I? Or
yeah.
no, is it a pound?
So
I don't know. We're American. We
it's
struggle.
the E with a slash through it. So I'm pretty sure that's a euro.
Yeah, I would
Bunch of
assume.
dumb Americans talking here.
So what are we looking
and
at? What bike?
If you want to do the Vitus Escape 27,
I was thinking
not the
the
27
Vitus
VR,
Summit 29 VR. Because the Summit 29 VR is right at that 2,100 euro.
Ooh, that's got a RockShox Yari charger though.
No way.
Yeah, on the Summit 27 VR, that's got a Yari.
Okay.
Ooh,
okay.
that's underrated, but that's really good shot.
Another brand did it to us. Because
that's really
Vitus,
good, Vitus.
No. Listen to me right now, Sean. The Vitus Summit 29 VR. So the 29 version of the VR is a Monatu Menzer.
Ooh, so Monatu's kind of in that weird category where it's like, oh, I've never heard this before, but it's like, this is one of those brands that's actually better than Fox and RockShox.
Oh man, that's a game changer, right? And this is yours 2099 too? So yeah, it's got that Monatu Menzer Pro 170, which is an amazing fork. Yeah, Fox Float DPS.
Wow. Oh wow.
SX Eagle.
Yeah, so SX Eagle super nice. It's a 1x12, but slightly less than the GX, but still very, very nice. But man, they went hard on the shocks though. They were not joking around about the shocks. Holy!
And their brakes are SRAM guides with 200s.
Ooh, those are nice. Those are extra nice. Wow, this is some Canyon
levels. This is the bike.
You guys are doing it big. This is really nice.
This is the bike.
And if you guys want to pop out and be a little flamboyant, where everybody sees your bike from Mars, this colorway is for you. Just super bright neon orange, and it looks really good though.
Oh yeah.
Oh man,
it's really pretty bike. Oh man.
Wow, this bike is nice. Very nice.
I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs. And folks, I'm going to tell you right now, we did not plan the order of these. No. We did not plan anything. And we're just finding better and better and better over and over. Man, this is great.
This is wow. Canyon and Vitus coming in big though. Wow, these are
some crazy bikes.
Wow.
Leave the top far. Leave them.
Whew. Whew.
Vitus has me in bed.
That was good. Vitus the dark horse coming in. Everyone knew that I was going to come in hot and heavy about Canyon, but Vitus coming in and stealing both of our hearts though. That was
because I'm thinking my bike right now. I'm looking at my bike that's sitting in my garage right now. It cost me about $3,000 when I bought it. And that was in 2017. And it was new bike, great. This is better.
Yeah.
By leaps and bounds.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the whole technology getting older and you get better componentry as years goes on at a lower price. So,
folks, oh man, this is where I would go.
That's nice.
As of right now, I think your partner needs this bike. Because this is the bike to get. This is crazy.
But you can't count out Canyon though with that carbon fiber build though. It's a little bit more expensive. This Vitus build
for a brand new rider this is what we're talking about. This isn't us. Brand new rider. Is it worth the $800 to go to carbon? No, it's not.
No,
it is
it's
not.
Sean. It's not.
Not when you can have a freaking Monatu.
Oh man.
I've never seen one on a budget bike. Ever.
Oh, that's such a good deal.
Ever.
I'm hot and heavy right
Okay.
now. That's got me all.
We're going to Alchemy. I'm telling you, we're moving on.
Whew, Vitus.
Vitus is number one right now. I'm moving it to the front of the page.
I'm just going to say right off the bat, Alchemy is an extremely small brand. It is a Colorado brand, Denver brand.
Ooh,
So this is
like
why
that.
I know about it, because I wanted to support a local Colorado brand that's also up and coming, very small.
So we're looking higher prices for bikes.
Yeah.
Okay. So it looks like their starting is about 3,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and that's something else you guys can think about. Is buying local important to me?
Yeah.
Is buying from a smaller brand? Because Vitus is a smaller brand. So is Canyon. But they are bigger than Alchemy.
Leaps and bounds bigger than Alchemy.
Yes.
Like this is like if you're looking like you want to be the hipster of the group, you're bringing the Alchemy out, and you're being super snobby about your Alchemy bike.
So these are boys in the garage rocking that Colorado swag, building bikes.
Yeah, for sure. But at $3,000, you get a really good bike.
But I will say, I'm a little surprised right now because I'm just looking. They got a $3,000 carbon bike. That's incredible.
Are you looking at the 975?
I'm looking at the 29ST.
Okay, let me go to that.
I can go either bike. Folks, they got, 3 or 4 bikes right now? Because they have the Arctos 27.5, the Arctos 29, Arctos 29ST, and the 975, which is that a 29? We can go to the 975 because that looks like their big kind of enduro style bike.
Yeah, the 975. I'm going to be honest. The 975 isn't even within the range of like price wise because it's starting at 4,500.
Is it?
Yeah,
it is.
I can't even get off their page. Their website's janky.
It is, but it is a small guy, small little brand. So what it's looking like to me is Alchemy's out of our budget for starter bikes because we're looking at $3,900 for the 29er, and if you want to spend the $3,000 that we were talking about, you're buying a frame.
Yeah, Alchemy,
and then you're picking parts. But we're gonna move on from them because it's not really worth talking about.
Poor Alchemy.
Another brand
that hurts my heart. I really wanted Alchemy to come in big.
I know, but it's too expensive.
I know,
it's too expensive. So let's look at another brand. Sean really hit me hard with some brands I don't know. Kamacyle.
Yeah. Yep. So
Kamacyle. Who are these people?
They're a French brand as far as French. Are they? They're either French or Spanish. They're in that interesting zone between French and Spain.
Okay.
What is that? There's that little province where it's like this exact mixture. It starts with
can't remember.
It starts with a B. Yep. What that province is called, but it's right next to the Pyrenees Mountains. Anyways, we're getting, this isn't the geography podcast. This is mountain bike podcast. But yeah, it's the Frenchy Spanish type of blend kind of deal going on here.
And what bike are we going to look at for them? Because I'm looking right now, and it looks like they're a little pricey.
I'm going to go to their trail, their Meta TR29.
Okay, that's where I am as well. And our cheapest bike they got is $2,000. Okay.
$2,000, the TR29 Origin Gray 2020. Or you get the Origin Teal. I like that teal, though.
Oh, yeah.
And they're also doing the little retro tires there.
Oh, yes. But this looks more like 90s mountain biking compared to the British brand.
It's coming back. Yeah. Cube was definitely very tongue-in-cheek, definitely very British, but this is just more retro in general.
Yeah, for sure. So let's look at some components real quick. We got front fork, RockShox 35 Gold RL. That's a really amazing fork. RockShox Deluxe Select, so it's a step above. see what we got here. Brakes, SRAM.
Yep.
Looking good with the SRAM level with 200 in the front, 180 in the back. SX Eagle 12.
Yep. So I'm gonna put a little damper on this though. Doesn't include a dropper post.
Oh, but did the Vitus? Did we look?
Ooh, let's go back to the Vitus real quick.
Oh
man, if the Vitus includes a dropper post, this
it
Vitus,
does.
Oh my god, the Vitus includes. This Vitus might win the whole thing. Holy smokes!
Buy the Vitus, folks. I'm telling you right now, that if you're thinking about a higher end bike, the Vitus is blowing our mind. And we look at a lot of bikes, and Sean obviously looks at a lot of bikes. So he has a bunch of different things that he looks at, the brands that I've never heard of. And this Vitus is blowing our minds.
If I would say the Las Vegas betting odds right now, the Vitus is really headstrong winner. You know, who's going to win the Stanley Cup of mountain biking right now, of quote unquote entry level full suspension mountain bikes? Oh man, that Vitus Summit 29 VR. Whew. Yeah. All right, so, Commensol though. This is supposed to be about Commensol right now.
Yeah, and Sean, I'm sorry, I'm gonna leave them because it's good, but it's not great.
I'm gonna leave the page open just for ranking purposes.
Yep,
but yeah,
but
it's.
I want to go for our last company that we're gonna look at because we're running out of time. I'd like to look at Ghost if you're okay with that.
Sure.
Or is there another brand that you think could outrank the Vitus?
Let's do a quick fire round of YT, GT, and Intense, because all three of those are very good brands. So let's look at the Jeffsy for YT to start.
Okay, you hit that one. I'll move to Intense. Okay. So I'm looking at the Intense Premier. Oh, those bikes are expensive. Never mind, folks. I'll find a better one. I thought I found the bike we're looking for. That's not the bike we're looking for. Those were about 3,800, and I was like, "Ooh, whoops! I didn't mean to."
Yeah,
Sean, I'm having hard finding a cheap bike here.
Yeah. Boy, howdy. Okay. YT's out of the running. Too expensive. Moving on. I'm going to GT.
Intense is out of the running. We're looking at in the 35 to 4,000 range.
Same for YT.
So, yep, they're gone. Where are you looking at?
I'm going to GT next. If you want to go to Ghost, you can do that.
I'm going to go do a quick look on Ghost.
Or if you want to do Niner, if you want to represent local brands.
I'm going to Niner, baby. This is a bike that I've always wanted to. Just any bike from them is something that I've always wanted to be able to get. Niner's out of Fort Collins, correct?
Yeah, their headquarters are in Fort Collins.
That makes me happy.
Same. But I give them crap though, because they were bought out about 2 years ago because they were about to go into bankruptcy from Huffy. They were bought from Huffy. Is that a Huffy though, bro? Is that a Huffy?
Well, at least they survived.
At least they survived. I'm happy for them. It seems like Huffy has had minimal impact on the design choices, but it just makes me sad. Like when I think of Huffy, I think of like top end Walmart bike.
Walmart.
Yeah. It's a really good Walmart bike, but it's a Walmart bike.
Sean, I can't find a Niner bike under 6K. So I'm going to leave that and go run over to Ghost real quick.
Here's the good news for you. GT has the Sensor Sport, full suspension, dead on $2,000. They're not going to jerk around you with that $299, $275, $264, $2,000 flat, baby. Okay, this sensor gets you a RockShox Recon 140 millimeter. It's not the RockShox Recon Gold though, so you know there's some bikes that we've seen that have been slightly better. And then a SX Eagle 12-speed, so you know nothing wrong about that. Then let's see, tires, the WTB 29 2.25 Ranger Comp, pretty good. It's
okay.
I just found the all killer no filler. This is the thing that I'm disappointed about. That's gonna count them out. They got Tektro brakes at 180 millimeters front and back. Oh, GT, you almost you had a chance, but you blew it. You blew it, GT.
Man. Okay, so Ghost has a bike straight at 2,000.
Nice.
So let's see what we got here.
Ghost is a German bike, by the way, and you can find them at REI, or at least you used to be able to.
Yes, they're also their website super hard to navigate.
Yeah, it's still definitely German.
Okay, fork RockShox Judy, rear RockShox Deluxe Select.
Liking it. A lot of good words so far.
Rear derailleur. Oh man, SLX on the back for the rear crankset.
Oh, so is that a 1x11?
I don't know, and I can't tell, and I'm struggling seeing the difference because thank you Germans. I'm struggling because it's so it is converted over from German to English, and things are going to get lost and things are going to be confusing, which is fair.
Janky.
They have a dropper post.
That's good. Including a dropper post is pretty big. That's like a $200 value.
Can you tell me what's happening here? Okay. It's a 1x. I'm just looking at the picture and counting, folks. That's all I got. It looks like a 1x11.
Which bike are you looking at?
The SL AMR 2.9 ALU.
Boy, they need to come up with a better name. I'm sorry, Germans. I know you're very technical focused. I know you're very engineering focused. You need a better name.
Because you done broke me. Because Sean Ogg will send you a link.
Yeah, I'm on it now.
Oh, you found it? Okay.
What?
Yeah, solid.
What is this?
All blackout with some gray.
Oh man,
really nice looking.
There's
bike.
some definite German brands here, like the stem and the handlebars. What is that?
I've never heard of them before.
The Ground 51 DIA. I've never heard of that brand.
Diameter, but so it's a Ground 51 is the name of the brand.
Ground 51, and it's spelt out, which is weird.
Yes. Yeah.
And what is this? What is the hub? Fast Ace? What is going on here? I don't know.
So we just hope they're good because Ghost has some good stuff. So
yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah.
It's at directly at €199. So.
And Sean, I'm going to look at one more brand because I know we're officially over time and we got to start wrapping it up.
It's that kind of day though, man. It's just fun times, drinking some cervezas, looking at bikes. You know, I think it's okay.
That is fair. Thank you, folks, for staying in with us. I want to look at Salsa, baby.
Salsa.
Go with our cervezas. Because Salsa is a brand that I've really started to feel.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those brands that they kind of came out of the woodworks and started to show people at a lot of different levels that they're not here to joke.
For sure. So do you want to look at the Horse Thief and I'll look at the Spearfish?
Sure, but the Horse Thief I think is like a $9,000 bike.
Their website is also janky, and you got to kind of click on those like top banner. Once you actually click on the page, there's a bunch of different stuff at the top.
Oh,
on those,
okay. I'm seeing.
Yeah.
I don't want the frame. What's Horsetooth Dior?
Dior is about as low as it gets for suspension stuff.
I know that's I was
under
clicking to try to get some price. And that's right at the 2,400 range.
Mm.
So let's see what we got for
the Salsa Spearfish SX Eagle. So very comparable to what we've been looking at. It's at $2,649, so pretty expensive.
Okay, so it's a little bit. So this one's a little under.
I think it's within the range of potential possibilities if you just love the colorways or whatever. Yeah, I think it's
this Horsetooth is actually going to surprise you, Sean. It's got a RockShox Recon, so not the best, but RockShox Deluxe RT. So we're looking good across the boat. We're not looking great. We're looking pretty good. Are you going to tell me what the things are? Man. And he wasn't joking about these. weirdness that comes with this website because I'm trying to find where
Yes.
I can't. Where's the drivetrain?
I'm looking at the Spearfish and it doesn't even list the drivetrain.
I can't find it.
Go to
Build Kit.
Go to
Build Kit.
Yep.
Okay, now I can. So this is disappointing.
Salsa, just have it all under one tab called specs. Don't put Build Kit and frame specs. Just put it under specs.
So it has a Shimano Dior. And that's the first time you guys heard that today, and that's lower.
Yeah, that's lower underneath the SLX and like the SX. Like not even SX Eagle, but it's underneath the SX. So this is compared to like the GX, which is very common in like the $2,600 to $3,000 range. This is like 3 to 4 steps down for the Dior.
Yep. So, and then I'm going to go ahead and click on the SX Eagle.
Yeah, that's what I'm at. I'm at the SX Eagle, which is at 2,600. Yep.
49, yeah. Which, in my mind, it's kind of leaving the range because you could buy a carbon bike for the same price.
Yeah. So I think everyone knows what our first choice for boutique bike is, but let's make it a little bit more interesting and let's choose thirds and second.
Okay. So, man, we've looked at a lot of bikes.
Yep.
I honestly, this is hard.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with the Ghost as number 3.
Ghost. I don't agree. Well, that's okay. You're entitled to your list.
Because I kind of like the way that they kind of put with that Judy Silver, that Rockshox Deluxe.
Okay.
It's more of it's got a dropper post.
Fair.
So it's one of those bikes that's less of it's a little bit less, straight at that $2,000.
Okay, I am trying.
So it kind of puts that in there.
Yeah.
What's your third pick?
I don't know. You might have just convinced me on the fly because originally I thought it was going to be the Common Sol Meta TR29 Origin 2020. But
I have that at second.
Really? So
I like that bike.
I like this bike a lot too. And so, man, so the biggest thing that's throwing me off about the Common Sol is that it doesn't include a drop-in post. It's at that beautiful $199 price range, but you're going to have to slap on an extra $200 approximately for your dropper post. So that's what's throwing me off. But everything else about this bike, the Common Sol, is great. You're talking Rockshox 35 Gold RL 150 millimeters travel, Rockshox Deluxe Select, and just everything else between there. Between the shifters, the SX Eagle, I almost said GX, SX Eagle, and the brakes and everything. Everything is super great, especially at a flat 2,000 for the componentry. This is more like 2,400. So I don't know. I'm almost talking about, man, you put a really good argument on the Ghost.
What was your number 2?
The number 2, I'm going a little bit out. Like we're on the top end of the budget, but it was that Canyon Torque Carbon Fiber 7.0. I'm sorry, but that Canyon is so good.
But I'm going to tell you, it's not in the price range, so it does not count in this.
Fine.
You pick a bet. You pick something in the price range.
Fine. I'll go with the. Let me double check real quick. Hold on. Ooh. It still does it for me. Man, Canyon, you're such a good brand. It still does it for me. The Canyon Neuron Aluminum 7.0. This bike is still so good.
So I'm going to go like this. This is what I'm going to say right now. Those 3 are all second for me. Because they're all at that $199. They're all right at this range. And at this point, when you're looking at these 3 bikes, they're all great. But it's what you want in specific to go in and go, okay, do I want to be a little bit more jumpy? Do I want to do a little bit more trail? A little bit more downhill? And then you can look at these 3 and kind of make that decision. But the Vitus takes it all home, baby.
I'm about to get super stoked on the Vitus, but I'm going to back it up real quick and tell you, I'm going to read you the gospel of the Canyon Neuron to tell you that this is 100%, without a doubt, a definitive second place. So this is a suspension of a 34 rhythm, 130 millimeters travel in the front, and then a Fox Float DPS, the slightly higher version with the DPS in the rear. And then you get a
And it has the
GX
GX.
as the
Okay,
derailleur. That's the
okay,
big thing. You get the GX.
Okay.
It's so good.
I get it.
Okay, let's
Okay,
let's go on to our big winner chicken dinner, Vitus. Congratulations.
Vitus! Which I've never heard of them.
Little did you know, Brad.
And they got me crying. I want a new bike though.
Yep. The Vitus Summit.
Oh.
It's spelled SOMMET 29 VR. Wow. Just blew us out of the freaking water.
This is, folks, if you want to spend that 2,000 range and go a little above, this is the bike.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yep.
This is the one that I can't say any, because man, it's so good. And you could look at both of these bikes, and I will take the Neuron from Canyon and put it right next to it, because you can make a decision between the two.
Yep. So
easy.
I'm going to throw a huge wrench in this, because if the folks out there that aren't planning on to, as they get better, do bigger stuff and do more jumpy stuff, I'm going to say that the Neuron could be a number one, because the Vitus has a 170 millimeter fork, and for you and I, that's awesome. That is so cool. But for other people that just want to concentrate on cross country, the Neuron's probably a better fit for them, because they get a better drivetrain. On the Neuron, they get the GX, but the Vitus Summit, they get the SX. So if you're looking more at cross country, go with that Neuron though. If you're like us, where you want to keep pushing, keep doing bigger and bigger stuff, it's the Vitus.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. So right there, that just showed that you can look at something and look at specs alone and go, oh, this is the best of the best. But is it the best for what you're going to do? So I hope that you've learned throughout this a little bit extended episode that all of these bikes have different attributes, different things that pull different directions. So someone like me and Sean, who want to hit A-line at Whistler,
one day,
Vitus is it.
Vitus is it, baby.
You could take that bike straight to Whistler and be perfectly fine.
Yep.
But if you're going to ride around Colorado, Wyoming, the North Shore, some of these single track heavens, I will say, Sean, that Neuron's a good bike.
Yeah.
And that's a good bike, and that'd be great for someone that wants to go and do trail riding. So
I got one more question for you, Brad.
Oh, sugars.
Okay, so we had another winner. We had the Scott Contessa / Spark. So between our quote unquote Big Four winner and then our boutique bike winners, what would you pick, man?
Oh man. So between the Canyon, the Vitus, and the Scott.
Yep.
For me personally, I'm gonna go with the Vitus.
Yep.
But for the viewers out there, listeners, I guess, you don't see me. I don't look very good right now. But I go with the Canyon. And here's why. Let me say why on my point is you're supporting a small brand.
Yep.
And they're bigger. They're not small town anymore. They're pretty big. But you're still supporting Joe Schmo that created a company.
Yep.
Scott's now ran by a board.
Yep.
They make lots of money. Because they also have smaller brands under them that they sell at Walmart. Yep. So they make plenty of money. Support Canyon, because it's almost a better bike.
And support Vitus. I would agree the exact same order. I would put the Vitus Summit 29 VR first place, and then the Canyon Neuron Aluminum, the AL 7.0 at number 2.
Real close in second.
Man,
almost tying in first, because they both have different things that they get to run with.
Different nisses to it.
Yes. Well, the Scott is an all-around good bike, and if you want to go with a big brand, and that's just your thing, because you're gonna make sure that this, that, and the other thing,
probably for the warranty more than anything else, I would say that the big brands.
Canyon has a great warranty as well.
Yeah, they definitely do.
A 6-year warranty.
Oof.
You can't.
That might as well be a lifetime warranty for a mountain bike.
Because if you're riding hard every summer, you're not lasting 6 seasons.
No.
You're probably lasting 4.
Not without constant repairs and stuff and treating it nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's between...
Vitus Canyon!
It's between the Canyon Neuron Illuma 7.0 and the Vitus Summit 29 VR. Man, that Vitus, that Vitus blew me away. This bike is so good.
Crazy.
I cannot say it enough. This bike is so good. Holy smokes. Like, I want to buy this bike. I just want to...
Yeah, right now.
Like right now.
Let's go get my credit card. I'll buy 2 right now.
Exactly. That's
a large and XL.
Ship that baby over from Europe. It's going to be so good. I'm going to feel the stoke. Oh, man.
It'll be worth the debt. It'll be worth it.
Just give me a little while to pay it off. That Vitus is so good.
Exactly. Well, Sean, you got any closing things for the pod?
Just the normal social media stuff. So if you guys want to follow us on Twitter, we're at release the ADV, excuse me. And then if you want to follow us on Instagram, more on Brad's side of things, he is at Release the Adventure, just straight up. And then I've also got a YouTube channel coming up, and you can just search us at Release the Adventure. So, in case you're like me and you listen and watch the YouTube way too much, you can find us there too. There's actually a couple episodes on YouTube right now. Not all of them, but they got a process and all that fun stuff. But it's there.
Awesome. And I just want to thank you guys for coming on the long haul with us. Hopefully you got a beer in your hand. If it's after 12, be responsible. Don't drive. And don't bike. Don't be dumb. Be smart.
You can get a DOI for biking drunk.
Yeah. Biking under the influence. Bad day. So thank you guys again. I just really appreciate giving us the opportunity to sit here and talk, and getting the opportunity to talk with Matt in our last episode, and just getting to have a fun ride and have a good time. So thank you guys so much. And we're Release the Adventure. And thanks for coming on a ride with us today.